Hey guys, today we'll shoot the VOR approach into St. Simon Airport. In this approach, the VOR is not located at the airport. We are currently heading towards the VOR so we can fly the outbound leg and start the approach. You don't need a DME for this approach, but we do have one with the G1000 helping us. If we open the plate for the VOR runway 4 approach, we can see that the VOR frequency is 109.8, final approach course is 027, and we have just under 5,000 feet of runway available. Nothing is relevant for us in the notes section. As we look on the lateral graphical information, there's 3 ways to set up for the approach. First one is a direct entry into the VOR, second one is a DME arc starting at Wicked, and the third one is a procedure turn flying the radial 207 outbound from the SSI VOR. That's the one we'll do today. So the approach begins over the St. Simon VOR and we're going to fly outbound on the 207 radial. The procedure turn is going to set us back into the final approach segment. How do we know when to initiate the procedure turn? If we go down into the vertical information, we can see that we need to remain within 10 miles of the VOR at or above 2000. The rule of thumb in a Cessna is about a 3-minute outbound leg, so even if our ground speed is fast, say 120 knots, we'll cover 6 miles on the outbound leg before initiating the procedure turn. Looking at the vertical layout of the approach, we need to maintain at or above 2,000 feet until we are established on the 027 radial inbound. Once we pass the VOR station, we can descend to the minimums, which are 500 and 1 mile visibility. Our missed approach point is going to be the runway threshold, which is 6.3 miles from the VOR. The missed approach procedures will have us turn right back to the VOR and climb to 2000. Once we get back to the VOR, we'll hold there. Setting the plane for the approach requires tuning in the VOR frequency, setting the course on the appropriate radial, inserting the minimums, and having the timer ready for the outbound leg. As we cross the VOR station, we're going to fly outbound on the 207 radial and start the timer. As we reach the 3-minute mark on the outbound leg, we are going to perform the procedure turn, which is basically a sequence of turn designated to align us with the final approach segment. We'll turn left heading 162, fly for about 30 seconds, and turn right heading 342 to intercept the 027 inbound radial to St. Simon VOR. The final approach fix is going to be the St. Simon VOR. As we cross the VOR, we can reduce power to 1700 RPM, flaps 10, 90 knots, and descend to the minimum altitude of 500 feet. We'll also start the timer we prepared in advance, which is set for 4 minutes and 12 seconds, to assist us in understanding when we reached our missed approach point. The timer is a must if you don't have a DME. Once we'll reach the MDA, if we don't see the runway, we'll keep flying until the DME shows 6.3 miles or the timer hits 0, whichever one you're using. If we still can't see the runway, we'll initiate the missed approach procedure. Once you're visual, reduce power, flaps 30 below 85 knots, and perform a normal visual landing. That was the VOR approach when the station is not located at the airport. See you guys next time.